Hello friends, welcome to our channel. In this video I'm going to tell you about design of isolated footing for a column with concentrated compression load. So these are some of the designs on the footings. You see to the end the video because you will not understand if you skip the video, because these reasons are very important. So like second to second is very important, so you kindly watch the video till the end, then you can understand how to solve design with easy steps. So you watch it. So I'm going to start the class now. So ready. Isolated footings are majorly used for carrying compressive loads from a single column. So majorly these designs of isolated footings mainly includes thickness of footings, slabs, pedestals, and maybe some dimensions if required, development length for main reinforcements of column, and other related checks for safety. So if you just read out this problem, this very important problem, you kindly read it out and you can also write it. So I will read out it. Design an isolated footing for a column of size 300 mm by 450 mm carrying a service load of 700 kN. The column reinforcement details are 8 to 16 mm dia with 8 mm dia lateral ties at 200 mm center to center. The safe bearing capacity of the soil is 150 kN per meter square, and use M20 Mix and Fe415 grade steel. This is the question given. We'll just solve this question now. First of all, the main step we have to do is determination of footing plan size. First of all, we have to majorly determine the plan size, means the area. So required area of the footing, how we will calculate? First of all, that's weight of the footing should be 10%. We'll assume it first 10% for the load of the column. Therefore the total service load on the footing be 1.1 into 700, it should be a 770. So you can also see here the question also mentions there here same. So 10% is nothing but 1.1 into 700. So we got 770 kilonewton. So required area is nothing but 770 divided by 150. Here 150 is nothing but the safe bearing capacity of the soil, 150, and 700 is nothing but total service load of the footing. So if you do division here, then we will get the answer is 5.13 square meters. So up to now we have calculated the required area now. So first next we have to choose, let us choose the dimension of 2.2 meter by 2.35 meter. So majorly the projection of the footing slab from the face of the column in either direction should be same. This is because to distribute upward soil pressure evenly on the footing slab and also eliminate two different moments about both the directions. So the provided area is 5.17 square meters and the required area is 5.13 square meters. So you can also see in this figure the depth is nothing but 2200, it's nothing but 2.2 meter, and this is 2.35 meter, it's nothing but 2350 mm, and from here, from footing edge to the column edge is 950, and this is 450. From this footing width is 450 and footing depth is 300, and the same thing from footing to down direction is 950. And step 2 is nothing but determination of thickness of footing slab. It's very important. The main ultimate upward soil pressure acting on the footing should be calculated. So ultimate pressure should be calculated like this. This is the formula for this. 1.5 is also have to done it in here the same thing. What we are going to done is this same factor of safety into 770 divided by its dimensions 2.2 into 2.35, which is answer is 223.40 kilonewton per meter squares, or if you just convert this into mm square, then you will get this answer 0.223 newton per mm square. The thickness of this slab is designed to be ground by three forces actions. First of all, we have to majorly we have three cases here. We have to go of only we can have to design to give a safe by accepting these three cases. We have to solve these three cases. Then if in three cases if you got good results, it means the safe results, then we can go with this design. So first we will go for case A, thickness of footing slab based on moment. So the critical section for movement is at the face of the column. Since the projections of the column is same in either direction, the movement is almost same about both the axes at the face of column. So movement at the face column is nothing but 223.40 into 2.35 into 0.95 by 2, so is equals to, the answer is nothing but 236.90 kilonewton meter. So 223 is nothing but whatever the value, ultimate soil pressure value is nothing but the same value here, and into 2.35 is nothing but the dimension, it's nothing but 2.35 is nothing but the width of the footing, into 0.95, the 0.95 is nothing but what we seen here is 0.95, so divided by 2 is equals to 236.90 kilonewton meter. So we can also see the 0.95 is nothing but this distance, and next this is an MUD value. We have to what we get 236.90 is nothing but the MUD value. So after finding the MUD value, thickness of the footing slab should be obtained from the given formula. MUD should be is the formula what we have in IS 456-2000 code book. You go and refer it in Annexure G. So by calculation, FCK value is nothing but we know 20, and XU max D is 0.42. The same formulas on 0.48. So the same formulas will be available in IS 456 code book. As a point, XU max D is nothing but the 0.48. The value is also available in code book. You just find it out these values, and after that D value you should calculate it, and 191.14 mm has been getted to us. So however, as per class 34.1.2 of IS 456 code, the minimum thickness of the slab should be 300 mm. So up to this we have successfully completed case A. Then we have to go for case B. Case B is certain thickness of footing slab based on one-way shear action. So as per class 34.2.4.1, for one-way shear action, the critical section be at a distance of effective depth of footing slab from face of column or pedestal if provided. So the shear force which shears the following footing is 0.223 into 2350 is nothing but 2.3 meters. So that's the dimension what we just mean mm. So into 950 minus d into n. This is the formula. Let us assume the percentage of the reinforcement of the footing slab is 0.3 now. So from table number 19 of the code for M20, and percentage of steel is 0.3, for design strength is obtained is 0.384 Newton per mm square. Resisting shear force is 0.384 into 2350 into D is equals to 902.4 dN. So equating the both forces, so we have to calculate this all thing by using this expression. We have to calculate the D value. So at last I got the D value is 349.01 mm. Hence from case B the required depth is about 350 mm. So from then after we have to do case 3, thickness of footing slab based on two-way shear action. In above case we have done single action, so now we double actions in two-way action. So the critical section for two-way is shear action as per class 34.2.4.1 and 31.6.1 being half of the effective thickness of footing slab, that is d by 2 from the face of the support. In this case the thickness of the slab is found by equating punching shear and design. And the following figure dissipates two-way action. You can see whatever the two-way actions is there. This is the column size, and this is the another column size. It's d by 2, then d by 2 from this side. So the two-way axis is calculated like this: to 0.223 into 2350 into 22200 minus 300 plus d into 450 plus d. So the resisting force calculated from the class 31.6.3.1 of the code, which gives Ks into tau c. Here Ks is nothing but Ks is equals to 0.5 plus beta c, but not greater than 1. So beta c is nothing but the ratio of short side to long side of the column. Tau c is nothing but 0.25 into square root of FCK. So therefore for the column Ks being 1 and design shear strength in two-way shear be 1.25 Newton per mm square. So then the resisting shear force be 0.25 into 2 into 450 plus d plus 300 plus d into d. So at last we got the d value is 31.62 mm. So the same thing, the thing what we have to do is effective thickness of the footing slab is greater than of the three cases, that is 350 mm from one way shear. The total depth 350 plus 75 is 425 mm. As per class 26.4.2.2, the minimum nominal cover should be 50 mm. Providing efficiency cover is 75 mm. So up to this step 2 has been successfully completed. Now we have to go for step 3, calculation of reinforcement for footing. So reinforcement for the footing may be obtained either by calculating or assuming the percentage of the reinforcement from the one-way shear case. So we know the moment at the face of the column is 236.90 kilonewton meter. So the corresponding reinforcement can be obtained as MUD is equals to 0.87 Fy into AST into 1 minus Fy AST divided by FCK into BD into D. So this is the formula. As this formula will be available in IS 456 2000 code book. So by using this we will calculate. We know MUD value is 236.90 into 10 power 6 and 0.87 Fi is nothing but 415. It's a grade of steel, and AST we don't know here. We have to find that reinforcement only. That's why we have to find this AST value, and we know everything is, we know FCK, we know B value, we know D value, we know everything we know. So after calculating these all, we know we have to calculate AST. Then you can see the AST value what I got it is 1972.88 mm square. So but in case from case B, if you see in case B the percentage of the reinforcement being 0.3%, so AST is nothing but AST is equals to 0.3 by 100 into 350 into this 2350, so which is nothing but 2467.5 mm square. So hence the required reinforcement is 2467.5 mm square. So because it is more. So let us choose 16 mm dia bars. Spacing of bars should be. So we have to calculate the S value is nothing but the spacing. So spacing is nothing but 2350 into pi by 4 into 16 square divided by total AST what we gotten before. This AST is equals to total spacing 191.48 mm. So provide 20 mm bars at the rate 180 mm center to center along both sides. So now step 3 is completed successfully. Now we are going for step 4. Check for bearing capacity of the column. This is the main important step to calculate the capacity of the column. So as per the major class 34.4 of the code of IS code, the bearing pressure must be less than 0.45 FCK into square root of A1 by A2. This is the formula which will be available in IS code for limit state method of design. Here A1 is nothing but supporting area and A2 is nothing but the area of the column. So bearing pressure of the face of the column B is 1.5 into 700 into 1000 divided by 300 into 450 is equals to 7.77 Newton per mm square. So we have to calculate the square root of A1 by A2 value. So for that you can see the values are the same values, 300 into 450. These values has been given directly in the question. You just refer the question once again, then you can understand what is the area of the column. They also mentioned there itself. So we just calculating A1 and A2 values, and I got it 1 should be less than 2, hence the factor is 1. So permissible bearing capacity should be 0.45 into 20 into 1. So I got the values 9 Newton per mm square. It should be greater than 7.7 Newton per mm square. So hence the safe in bearing capacity. So no need to provide pedestals. However, sloped footing is chosen for the sake of economy. So I have chosen so because for economical conditions we can also use different types of footing slabs. So step 5 is nothing but check for development length. Is the development length is correct or not? We have to check it. So majorly it is necessary to improve the bond between the column and the footing. So therefore the stiffness of the joint, hence the main reinforcement of the column bars shall be extended into the footing first. Slab up to some development length requirements should be satisfied. Up to the satisfaction we have to do it. So the development length of for the column 16 mm dia bars is 0.87 into 415 into 16 divided by 5 into 1.6 into 1.2. This formula is also available in the IS 456 code book. We just refer on it. So the total answer what I got it is 601.75 mm. So step 6 is nothing but the detailing. So detailing is very important in this footing. So first of all you have to draw a neat footing. So what I am showing figure in this, you try to draw the same thing. What I have chosen here is, I also mentioned here sloped footing is chosen for the sake of economy. So I've chosen this is sloped one. This is sloped one. So the distance from here this bar to this is 450, and same thing this to this is a 450. What I have bars is, so I have used it here is 16 dia bars at the rate 180 mm center to center at the both sides. It's one side at one side. So here you can see here what I have used in the bars is a 16 mm dia bars with 8 mm. So just 8 bars of 16 dia what I have used in here. You can just calculate the bars here. So on the 8 dia at the 200 mm center to center also I calculate, and from this top to the bottom the total the height is 425 mm, and from this to this side, the side of the height of the footing from bottom to some of the top is 300 mm. So the total width of the footing is 2350, as we all know that. So you can see this plan, the plan view. This is the detailing section. So this is the plan. You can see from the plan what it look like from a top view. So this is the width, 2350 mm, and this is the length 2200, and you can see this is a column way, and this is the dimension of 450 by 300, and this with a dimension of 1300 by 1150. So you can draw like this detailing, so then you will get a good clarity and understanding of the design of the footing of the isolated. So this is a complete design of isolated footing. So I think it is understood by you. If you have any doubts, you just comment me, so I will definitely reply your comment. So I will bring like these videos to you more. So please do subscribe our channel and press bell icon to get my latest video notifications, and like the video and share the video. Thank you.